Hey guys, it's me, Lauren Bersaglio, and this is Nita's Eating Disorder Awareness Week. And so, as most of you know by now, I will be posting a video every day this week, and each video will have a tip on something that you can do if you know someone who might be struggling with an eating disorder or body image. And then the second half of each video will be an example of hope from my life, a little kind of sample of success or progress for my journey through recovery. So, what I'm going to be talking about for my tip is one question that I get asked a lot, or just something that comes in a lot of discussions when I'm talking to people about eating disorders and body image, is I get a lot of parents asking me how they can prevent their young children from struggling with these issues when they get older, especially people who have young daughters, because as we all know, prevention is always better than cure. So I did a video on this a couple months ago, so I'll post a link to that video at the bottom of this video blog. It will be right at the bottom there. But I'm going to give you a bit of a brief kind of answer to this question, and then if you want a more extended answer, you can view that other video, because I don't have time in this one to kind of repeat everything I said and then go into the second half of the video as well. So the main thing that I tell parents is to live by example and to lead by example, and to set the mood in the household and within the family, set the mood there and raise the child in such a way that body image is never brought up in a negative way, and food is never seen in a negative way. And so some practical examples of how you can do this is, first of all, in regards to food, no food should be considered bad or off limits. I understand when you have really, really young children, you have to look out for their nutrition, so that's a bit of an exception. I don't want to override any of that advice. But as kids start getting older, there shouldn't be any food. Food should be seen first of all just as fuel. Food is fuel that keeps you living. And so no food is really bad. So to come up with an example of what you can do to kind of avoid showing any food as bad is random comments like, "Oh, I really shouldn't have had those brownies," or "Oh, well, I guess if I'm eating this, there will be no more of this, tomorrow." Let's say it was a big tray of nachos or something. Any kind of thing that implies that a certain type of food is considered bad, I highly kind of suggest against doing that, because it starts planting in your children's heads that there are good foods and bad foods, when really food is just food. Another thing is on the lines of food being just fuel. Food should not be seen as a coping mechanism or a way of celebrating or a way of rewarding. So it shouldn't be, "Oh, I had a hard day at work today, so I shouldn't be eating this cake, but I had a hard day at work, so I guess it's okay." Like, all of these things are usually said in very casual, joking tones, but if you separate the tone from it and you just look at the words, if you were to write the words down on a piece of paper, those words that are on that paper, like minus the tone, is actually what the child will remember, and what will kind of help form their views of food. And so to say things like, "Oh, it's not okay to eat this, but I had a bad day, so it's all right," or, "Oh, I shouldn't really have, this piece of chocolate cake, but I'm celebrating, so it's all right." Celebrating or not, you're allowed to eat chocolate cake. Bad day or not, it's not bad to eat a brownie or to have cheese pizza. Some people are against cheese pizza. I'm not, but it shouldn't make a difference how your day was, whether you're celebrating or not, whether you're upset or not. It shouldn't make a difference what you are and are not allowed to eat. Another thing I think that's really important is using food as a coping mechanism. That kind of piggybacks on the concept of, "I had a bad day, so I'm allowed to eat this." But even just, your kid comes home from school, they're really upset, they want to talk about it, and what you say is, "Here, please eat some cookies." Already you're kind of sending out these subliminal messages to them that when I'm upset, I eat cookies. And what that can lead to is emotional eating. And as soon as someone develops the habit of emotional eating, they are now at a greater risk of developing not just something like binge eating disorder, but even something like anorexia or bulimia, because it's all about relating emotions to food. Then another tip of advice is similar to food, exercise. Exercise is meant to keep you fit. It's not meant to help you. It's not about losing weight. It's not about anything else. It's just it's there to keep you healthy and active. And so I highly, I'm all for promoting exercise and healthy living and healthy lifestyles in your family. But to start making exercise sound like a punishment, or to come home and be like, oh, I feel so guilty, I haven't gone to the gym in 5 days, to start relating guilt to exercise, that's another subliminal message that in the future could have some harmful effects on your children as they grow up. Also, things like making comments about your body, oh, my pants aren't fitting so great, I should really hit the gym. That sends out the message that the gym is there so that you can fit into smaller pants, when really the gym is there so that you can build bone density, increase your stability, increase your overall health. So that's something I highly recommend. And then on those lines too, specifically related to body image, I know that a lot of times we joke around about our bodies, or even just complain. You don't think anything of it. Your kids are in the room and you're just like, oh my goodness, my arms have gotten so flabby, and you start talking down to yourself, and that makes your kids think that it's okay for them to talk down to themselves. And if you talk down to others, if you even have like a joking way, you call each other fat or chubby, or it, first of all, what that does is it makes them comfortable using that word to other people, so they can go to school and start calling their friends that, which can be harmful to their friends. But second of all, using that, calling someone chubby or anything, it builds a negative connotation around a certain size, which also then sends out a lot of subliminal messages that in the future could have negative effects on your children when they get older. So those are my tips. And like I said, there's a link at the bottom of this video if you want to see the full-length video that I did on this topic. And now for my little snippet of hope, my little proof of hope for my journey through recovery. I was thinking about it today. I was trying to think of what I wanted to share with you guys. And I remembered that when I was really struggling with bulimia, I got really scared because I was having all this soreness in my throat. It was really raw, and there were times when I kind of lied down. It was like I couldn't breathe, and I was afraid of what was happening. I had to go see the doctor, and it was getting really risky. It was quite scary for me. But now I'm fine. There was no permanent damage done, and I'm fine. I don't have any problem breathing when I lie down. I don't have a sore throat constantly. I don't have any red irritation, anything like that. I'm fine. And so it wasn't that long ago when I was in a place where, I'd lie down and sometimes I couldn't breathe properly, and now I'm okay. So you can get there too. So don't be scared. And I strongly encourage you to also look at this as me telling you that when you are purging, it does have a negative physical effect on your body, and it can do serious damage to your throat. And even if you aren't in a place where I advise you to seek help, but even if you aren't in a place where you can get there, one thing that I used to do was, after I would purge, I would take about 2 Gaviscon, which are those tablets that kind of help coat your throat if you have acid reflux. And so first and foremost, I encourage you to stop and to seek help. But if you aren't there yet, just to protect your physical body, try to do something like take some Gaviscon just to protect your throat until you get to the point where you are ready to seek help. So that's all for today, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.